This is Robert Harper with Virginia Farm Bureau's Grain Division. Glad and thankful to bring you the Merchandiser Minute for Thursday, April the 1st, 2021. What an exciting week we've had with so much information released by the USDA that definitely impacts the futures part of your cash price. We know as the month ended yesterday, we get the quarterly stocks, what was in the bin on March the 1st, as well as the prospective planted acre report. What do the American farmers intend to plant? We know that USDA surveys the farmers, you all, from the 1st of March through March the 15th, I believe it is, and then they released that data, and it was a big surprise to the trade yesterday. Coming into the report, the trade was guessing that we would need to see 93 million acres of corn and 90 million acres of soybeans on the intentions to plant, perspectives to plant report. If we didn't see that number, they were spooked that we would be in a rationing market for at least 12 months to come. And when the numbers came out yesterday lower than expectations, it really fueled the speculators' buying interest. The market has needed direction. The futures market has needed direction basically for the month of March, and we made up the losses in one day that we had incurred over the previous 30 days of March. Let's take a look at these important numbers. USA corn intentional planted or prospective planted acres came in at 91.1 million. It's only up about a little less than 1% from last year. Soybean acres came in at 87.6. That's up 5% from last year. So I'm going to say them again. 91.1 million acres of corn, 87.6 million acres of soybeans. That's what you all are going to tend to plant. Now remember, we won't get a final planted number until June the 30th. When we look at the quarterly stocks, what was in the bin on March the 1st? 7.7 billion bushels of corn. Soybeans came in at 1.5 billion bushels. Now, when we look at those numbers, these are some 5-year lows on the quarterly stocks. If we compare it just to last year, corn is down 3%. If we compare soybeans to last year, 31% down. So again, 1.5 billion bushels of beans in the bin. Last year it was 2.25. That's a 31% increase in what's in the bin, which is obviously a reflection of the price rally that we've had since September and farmers selling, export or grinding, just a lot of use, a lot of demand. So these acre numbers coming in lower than expected and the stocks numbers coming in where they did took the speculator who was already long futures and gave them some direction coming into a new month today, a new quarter today, second quarter. It gave them new direction and they're very optimistic about price going higher. And we did lock limit up yesterday, not only on the corn board, but also on the soybean board, and we had expanded limits in the marketplace today. That didn't happen, but we did gap higher at the open last night to come into new highs for new crop beans and new crop corn. So it's definitely time, as I look forward to speaking to each of you, that we'll have the phone conversations about looking at cost of production, looking at what margin you want over that, looking at your crop plan, looking at your average yield production history, and coming up with what type of small incremental sales that we need to be making for you on new crop. And we might want to do just basis contracts, lock the basis in on those new crop bushels, and then put wish orders in the computer at where your target prices are. We need to expect lots of volatility coming. Also next week on the 9th, I believe it is, of Friday, next week, next Friday, April the 9th, we get the monthly crop production report from USDA. So as one analyst puts it to me, it's like a 1-2 punch with the prospective plantings and quarterly stocks yesterday, and now next week we have to prepare for our monthly crop production report. So more volatility and lots of trade action is going to be present. Some Virginia specific numbers. We did see a 50,000 acre lower number for corn. Virginia's farmers expect to plant 510,000 acres of corn in 2021 and a 10,000 acre lower number for soybeans in Virginia at 560,000 acres of soybeans. So let's take a look at the futures and how they closed out this short week with the board closed tomorrow for Good Friday. I'm going to jump this week to new crop futures. Let's talk about new crop today. December corn up 18 cents a bushel for the week to close at $4.84. If you look at your old crop corn futures, this week they closed at $5.59, up 7 cents a bushel for the week. So we know we have this big inverse in this bull market. The nearby futures contracts are worth more than the deferred. But we definitely saw this week with these new crop numbers coming in from the Planted Acre report, we saw the new crop closing the gap on that inversion with new crop corn up 18, old crop corn up 7. Let's look at our new crop soybean contract. November futures were up 56 cents a bushel for the week to close at $12.63. The old crop soybean futures were up 2 cents a bushel for the week to close at $14.02. So again, we're seeing that inversion tightening as the market is now putting a lot of attention on new crop. For wheat, we had July wheat. Your new crop contract closed at $6.10 for the week, up a penny. So next week, we're going to be looking for preparations, consolidations, whatever the funds are going to try to do before we get to Friday, where we get our monthly crop report on April the 9th, where obviously the conversation has now shifted to weather as we've gotten the first look at the 2021-2022 crop. We're going to see, again, a lot of attention on what's going on with double crop acres in Argentina and Brazil, and we're going to see how those field conditions will be taking shape before planting here in North America and the United States in the Corn Belt and even here in Virginia. Give us a call. We can help you. A lot to talk about, a lot to analyze. This is Robert with Farm Bureau's Grain Division.